Okay, I don't know if that was 30 seconds or not, but it was getting a little quiet here. So we're going to go ahead and get but anyways, we are recording this. So folks who maybe missed the first minute, they can catch up to that as we go. But good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. As I said, we're really excited, to bring everyone here together to talk a bit about our First Tee relationship and the trustee partnership with Topgolf Callaway brands. They're a great partner of ours, and I'm really excited to help facilitate that conversation today with some special guests from First Tee headquarters, as well as the Topgolf Callaway team. So really quickly, for those of you who haven't met yet, my name is Nick Pyczalski. I'm the Director of Corporate Partner Relations here at First Tee headquarters. Sit on our corporate partnerships team, where I get to work with some really incredible companies and organizations who are so passionate about First Tee and the great work happening out here across the network. And one of those partners, Topgolf Callaway Brands, has been, again, a long-time partner of ours, and we're really thrilled to have them here today to talk a little bit more about that partnership, what it means for chapters, and how their support will impact the network. But before we really get into that, want to quickly introduce my teammate, Lexi Smith.
Hey everyone, my name's Lexi Smith. I'm the Partner Relations Coordinator for First Tee headquarters, working on our corporate partnerships team. And I have the absolute pleasure of working closely with Topgolf Callaway brands. And we are so excited today to talk to you guys about all the opportunities you all have to engage in this partnership. So just a few quick housekeeping notes before we jump in. We do ask that you all please mute yourself during the presentation. If you do have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat as we go, and then we'll answer them at the end in a Q&A section. The webinar is also going to be recorded, and it will be posted on our new chapter intranet page. So if you guys haven't had the opportunity to log in and check it out, recommend you doing so after the webinar. It's incredible. But you'll be able to find all the information from today's webinar under the opportunity subheader on the intranet page, and then you'll click discounts, and it'll take you to our partner discount page. From there, you'll click operations, and you'll see Topgolf Callaway brands listed on there as well. So my information's on the last slide of the presentation, so please don't hesitate to email and reach out to me if you have any questions on how to navigate to this information. And with that, I'll pass it back along to my colleague Nick to talk to you guys about how the partnership got started.
Oh, that was the first time of probably many today where I'm going to start talking without realizing that I muted myself. So here we go. Got that one out of the way early, though. But anyways, so this partnership has been a great partnership from the start, and it's a long-time relationship. Both Callaway and Topgolf have long supported First Tee before they came together in Topgolf Callaway brands. Callaway and the Callaway Foundation have been incredible donors and partners, specifically to the First Tee San Diego, as well as support across the greater network as well. But back in 2022, as Topgolf Callaway brands came together, it was also an opportunity for them to bring their support of First Tee together and enhance capacity as a trustee of First Tee. And from the start, in working with the Topgolf Callaway team, a really important piece to this partnership has been to support chapters both in Topgolf markets and across the country. And over the past year or so, we've been working closely with their team on how do we roll that out, share that partnership out to the chapter network. So I appreciate so many of our chapters and so many of you have reached out with questions as we've gone through that process. And hopefully today we'll have a great opportunity to address some of those questions and give you all some great ideas on how you can build some great relationships with your local Topgolf venues. We've got quite a few slides to move through today, and we're going to move through it. So we leave plenty of time for questions at the end. But again, to Lexi's point, we'll be recording this. The slides will all be sent over afterwards at the end. But now I would like to introduce some very special guests who will be joining us today. They're wonderful supporters and wonderful friends of First Tee. Every time that I leave a call or a meeting with both of these ladies, they're so inspired by their passion and their commitment to First Tee as well. So many of you already know our first guest, Mackenzie Mack, who is a bit of a First Tee superstar coming through the program, a coach, a program director, to now her current role at Callaway Golf. But Mackenzie, would like to say a few words.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Yes, First Tee is like my second family. And so I know a lot of you, and to be in my role now and come full circle from a participant to a coach to a director to ED to now a volunteer, to not begging volunteers, I'm actually a volunteer, and then be on the trustee side is a pleasure. To work for a company that loves First Tee as much as I do. So I'm so excited to be on this side and kind of share my insight and my background with with our team to better be a impactful partner moving forward. And that's what we're all about, is actually helping you all, making a difference, not just to check a box, but actually help you all make your lives a little bit easier in reaching those communities, because it's so important, and changing that next generation, because without the first tee, I wouldn't even be here doing what I'm doing. So just here to support where we can and answer any questions. So looking forward to hearing what you all are looking for and how we can help moving forward. And then my next guest is my friend and we work very closely together on our community outreach, is Miss Tiffany Brush.
Well, hello, everyone. One day, Mackenzie, I'm going to get you to introduce me as your very best friend, but I'll just keep working at it. I have the great privilege of working with Mackenzie, Nick, and Lexi on bringing the partnership to life to support the First Tee chapters. Thank you all for being here, for giving us an opportunity to have an open conversation, answer questions, share best practices. I've been with the Topgolf brand for just about a decade and a half, and absolutely love the partnership with First Tee. We have not been trustee partners or supportive as long as Callaway has, but we did create many of our programs with First Tee in mind well before we ever became a trustee. We really believe in the work that all of you do every single day, and I'm just really, really proud of the partnership thus far, and looking forward to growing it as we move forward together.
Awesome. Thanks, Tiffany. So one of the ways that we engage in this partnership is through our equipment donations. So as local Topgolf venues roll out new equipment, they're generous enough to donate their old venue club sets to local First Tee chapters in that surrounding area that the chapters can either use for programming equipment or give to their local community. So this year, as you can see, we had 16 First Tee chapters receive equipment donations, and that resulted in about 380 club sets donated this year. So we're really appreciative of that. The Topgolf Director of Operations work with the local chapters to coordinate the drop-off of this equipment. So as a chapter, you all don't need to reach out to the venue to inquire about equipment donations. If and when a Topgolf venue is going to go through a club swap and have clubs that they're willing to donate, we at HQ will notify you all if you guys are eligible for that equipment donation. So I'll pass it along to Tiffany to talk more about our plans for 2024 around equipment donations.
Well, we loved packing that van, Michael. So thank you for that chat, that comment in the chat. We have an opportunity to continue on club donations. We will start to swap out our clubs in the June timeframe. And something that I want to flag for all of you that are able to attend here, or anybody who's listening to the recording, is that we have a waiver that we will ask you to sign. So any venues or any chapters that have received clubs this year, and any that we anticipate being able to donate to next year, will receive communication from a person on our team, the magnificent Matt Thompson. So please keep an eye out for that. If you can fill out the waiver, that would help expedite. We know that June probably seems like a long time from now, but we just want to make sure that there's nothing in the way of us getting those clubs to you as soon as we're ready to do so, so that you can fully take advantage of that donation.
So and kind of on that topic of equipment, one of the other, really important parts of this partnership comes from the Callaway side of things, where, Callaway has generously offered, and Mackenzie went to, I think, a lot to set this program up, and we're really thrilled to offer it. We're both on the Callaway equipment and side as well as Callaway apparel. Chapters are eligible to purchase both for a great discount. I believe it's 25% off of wholesale pricing. So really a great way to order program supplies, equipment, whatever your chapter needs. You will need to create a separate account for both the equipment and the apparel side. Full instructions are on the chapter intranet. And just one note to point, if your chapter has a resale operation of any sort, these items purchased at this discount would not be eligible to use in that capacity, but if you're using them for programming or other methods, of course, please take advantage of this. Mackenzie, on that discount topic, anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just set up your account. You'll be able to pay via credit card. It'll be your own online account with the discount set up in it. and use it for your juniors. I think the biggest thing is equipment all the time. And as we're developing our older juniors, they're always looking for ways to get in that better equipment. So let's make sure we get them in that equipment at this discount. That's always a huge thing for the juniors. And let's get them fit too. Callaway team has a lot of fitters around the country, and they will start bringing them to Topgolf as well. So you'll be able to go to Topgolf and get fit, and let's get them in the right equipment that they need to really be successful. We have a team dedicated to this specific discount program, so you'll get right directly to help and the support that you need if there's any issues. And like you said before, it is not for retail facilities. It is for personal use. So for you, your students, the staff. So shout out to Kurt, love your hat. Orlando, I'll be looking for your account application because I see your banner in the background. So we got to switch that banner. So don't miss out on it. And it's a really good discount for sure. Probably the largest one that we have. And because we feel like it's that important for the juniors to have what they need.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mackenzie, for, again, setting that up. And also instructions step-by-step are on the chapter intranet for any chapters who have yet to kind of create their account there.
Right. And if you have any questions, there's a dedicated email. Just shoot an email. It comes right to me and another counterpart. So we'll get back to you very quickly. So if you're like, I don't even know where to start, just shoot us an email and we'll get you started.
Awesome. Thanks, Mackenzie. So if you guys have been in a Topgolf this year, which I hope you have, you may have seen these ads in your bays. So this year we launched a nationally driven ad campaign to promote First Tee and the partnership that we have with Topgolf Callaway brands. So as you can see, we had great visibility with this campaign, and we're excited to announce that we will be continuing the national ad campaign for 2024. So the creative that you see here on the screen will be refreshed and swapped out several times throughout the year to kind of align with the moments in First Tee's calendar. So keep your eye out the next time you're at a Topgolf for some of our new ad creative that will be out. And I'll pass it along to Nick to talk more about utilizing Topgolf venues for fundraising and events.
Awesome. So great. So a couple of really neat topics to dive into over the next few slides. And the first of which of those, of course, are, different venue events and fundraising things that, chapters can or have already hosted, at their local Topgolf. And again, I think everyone here on this call has a Topgolf in your service area or one that will be opening soon. There are about 60 or so chapters, I think, that are kind of in that criteria there. And what we really hope to do is, as we talk through these next few slides, is just to give you some ideas on how your chapter can build a meaningful and impactful relationship in your community with your local Topgolf. So through the trustee relationship, Topgolf nationally, and Tiffany has done an incredible job of kind of building this out with Mackenzie, this program to provide some discounts for First Tee chapters looking to do events or fundraisers at their local Topgolf venue. So the fundraising sponsorships that Topgolf generously offers help to discount the cost of gameplay for fundraising events. And additionally, if your chapter is looking for a non-fundraising event like a retreat, a training, a celebration of some sort, a discount is also available for that. So Tiffany, if you'd like to speak a little bit more to that topic.
Yes, absolutely. So our fundraising sponsorship, as Nick mentioned, covers 50% of the golf, but also 100% of the room rental, because of course it's really important to gather your donors and have some meaningful moments of conversation or celebration, maybe before or after your event. They're really turnkey. They typically last 3 hours on the nose from start to finish, because when we were developing our fundraising and our tournament programs, we heard loud and clear how important it was to make sure that the timing was really specific for attendees. The reason why I really wanted to highlight this today is because I have the unique opportunity to see how much all organizations that are leveraging the fundraising sponsorship raise on an average about 3x of the cost. And of course, I want that for First Tee chapters. And I see the feedback of how turnkey and how accessible the Topgolf fundraising event was for attendees. So if you haven't yet, connected with your local Topgolf to find out more about a fundraising opportunity, big or small. So we can host groups as small as 12, but most venues can accommodate about 612 golfers at any one time if you have 3 venues or 3 floors in your Topgolf venue. So we can really grow. Great opportunity night before, or if you've seen dwindling numbers at a different event, maybe take a chance on hosting at Topgolf. And then for the events that are not fundraising in nature, what's specific to First Tee and other partners of ours like Coca-Cola and Red Bull is that if you are interested in hosting a meeting or a volunteer event or any other sort of gathering that is not Topgolf, maybe a chapter holiday party, then you will receive 20% off of your golf rate and your room rental as well. And that is unique specifically to our partners. So we hope that you take advantage of those efforts and also of the funds that are being raised at a Topgolf venue. Anytime I see anyone raising funds at Topgolf, it's of course incredible. We love to be the place that the community gathers to raise funds for things that they really are passionate and care about. But also a little part of me is like, well, I really want that for our charitable partners, which is you. So if you have questions about that, we have full sales teams at every single venue, as well as a subject matter expert specific to fundraisers, especially if it's your first time fundraising at Topgolf, to give you best practices specific to that market and that venue, what price points are being set at from a sponsorship perspective, and really walk you through what the experience would be like. It is incredibly important for us to be able to be a place that you would trust with such an important event. So we hope that you do so, or if you already have, and I saw a shout out in the chat, so thank you for that, that we continue to be able to make you proud and help you raise funds for your chapter.
Awesome. Thanks, Tiffany. And now another piece that we really definitely want to make sure we pulled out time to talk about today, and that is programming or program sessions at Topgolf venues. So this is something, a really foundational piece to this partnership, and knowing that the ability to offer First Tee programming at Topgolf venues really can open up, whole new avenues for programs, especially in more northern or colder climates where you may be restricted to outdoor programming throughout the winter months. So this is a really powerful offer from Topgolf that provides free gameplay at Topgolf venues and select dates Monday to Thursday at virtually any time through the day. Some venues may have very specific or tailored restrictions around that, but Tiffany can speak to that a little bit as well. But essentially, Topgolf is doing everything they can to be an open door for chapters to offer programming at Topgolf venues and to really get kids there, in the bays as well. So currently, or in the past year or so, there have been about, I think, 10 or so First Tee chapters that have programmed at a Topgolf venue. Our team went through and surveyed, some of those chapters earlier this year, just about a month or so ago, to really help to better understand and learn from them best practices, ideas, obstacles, things that they had been facing, so that our team, can work with Tiffany and Mackenzie to continue to address those and to do everything that we can to ensure that, it's a seamless implementation for chapters looking to program at their venues. Tiffany?
Yeah, I think once again, we want to be the gathering place for your community. And what we heard, especially coming out of the pandemic, is that it was becoming increasingly difficult for chapters to find as many tee boxes as they once had access to, because of course, great thing happened in the golf community or our golf industry, is that everybody remembered that they love golf or that they wanted to try it. So we are open to programs, and also if there's a rain out, we wouldn't want you to have to cancel your practice or inclement weather. You can host a session at our venue, or ideally we would love to be a program site. We think that we have done a really great job of making sure that people feel welcome and comfortable and able to learn the sport in a relaxed manner. Of course, you do that exact same thing. So if there's an opportunity for us to host a program, we want to be able to do so. So all of the time in the golfing bays is completely covered by Topgolf. As I mentioned before, we created a program called Play It Forward, specifically with First Tee in mind, and then expanded those hours that we had made available once we became a trustee partner and did some of that and received some of that feedback that the program the program, being able to host a program at no cost was a great benefit, but sometimes the program time wasn't really aligned with what we were able to achieve. So we opened up the program availability specifically for First Tee, and that way we can host after school programs when schools sit in session, and also we hope that it helps you to retain or attract some of those teens that maybe didn't previously stay within the program, or you're not necessarily attracting. Topgolf tends to be a fun, attractive place for those teens as well. And if there's an opportunity for us to work with you on having a program, we want to do so. What we can offer, of course, is the Topgolf time and bay time. And at this time, we cannot offer coaches. We're working on it. We heard some of those requests loud and clear, and our coaches want to be able to do so too. There's some legal things that we're working through there. The whole thing about having someone volunteer in the job that they do every day, as you can imagine, that becomes a little bit sticky because most people like to be paid for the job that they do. So we're working through what that will look like, and we'll have some updates. We can commit that to you over this 2024 year. But in the meantime, we would love for you to activate and take advantage of the complimentary time at Topgolf, whether it's for a full program, ideally, or just to bring the programs, at various times throughout the season to enjoy Topgolf and maybe get a little bit of a different golf experience.
Perfect. Thanks, Tiffany. All right. So I think in terms of slides to run through, that was it. We made it through there. And I know, though, there are some questions out there that we want to make sure that we address. I believe some folks submitted questions ahead of time as you RSVP'd for the webinar. So if you did, we are going to get to those. If you have questions now, feel free to drop them in the chat, or you'll be able to come off mute and ask those live. We'll bring in Amanda Zedrick, our Senior Director of Corporate Partnerships, who leads our team, to help jump in with some questions and everything. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, thanks everyone for going through that. Tiffany and Mackenzie, always wonderful to hear from you. So we do have some questions coming through, and as Nick said, a few questions that were submitted in advance. So we'll start with a few of those, but again, please drop your questions in the chat or feel free to come off mute at this time and ask them. So Mackenzie, I'm going to start with you with a question that came through while you were discussing the Callaway discount. So do you recommend that chapters go through the process that was described on your slide and on the internet versus working with their local Callaway reps?
Yes, because they're two different programs. So, but prior to the trustee partnership and this discount program, we did have some chapters that were working with their reps, and most of them I looked through, most of them have facilities that they're selling retail merchandise from. And so those agreements will stay the same. So if you go through your rep, they're looking for resale and retail and that kind of business. So if you're looking for this particular discount for your students, for your staff, for giveaways for an event, then I would go through the intranet method. And even if you go to your rep, they will send it my way. So that has happened too. So we're all connected. So either way, if they're closest to you at that time, you can connect with them. They'll circle you back around to whatever is going to fit your facility the best.
Great. Thanks so much, Mackenzie. All right, Tiffany, I'm going to jump over to you. We had a few questions come in advance of the webinar. Just asking if they don't have an existing relationship with their local Topgolf, how do they best go about connecting with that local general manager or leader? Can you walk us through your recommendations there a little bit?
Yes, I can, but Lexi's the real star in this situation. So Lexi, do you want to take it?
Yeah, happy to jump in. So yeah, if you guys don't have a local relationship currently, please feel free to email me. My email is right there on the screen. And I can go ahead and facilitate and create the introduction for you. So just go ahead and shoot me an email after this webinar if you've not been able to get in contact with your director of operations at your local Topgolf, and I'm more than happy to start that process for you all.
Perfect. Thank you, Lexi. I am going to jump back to you, Mackenzie. Try to do an even split here between the both of you, give each of you a break in between. We did have a question come through about club fitting courses or equipment opportunities for first tee representatives. Can you share any more details about that?
Like as a like a coach getting trained to fit in Callaway stuff?
I think that's the genesis of the question.
Okay.
If we want John, I think John from Detroit came in with that question. John, if you're still on and want to come off mute and offer any additional.
Yeah, so
Thanks, John.
we have a lot of kids. Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we have a lot of kids that are getting to the age where they might need some clubs, and instead of going through a third party, I would love to be able to fit clubs myself. Although I don't have the necessary maybe qualifications, I definitely want to learn. I'm a PGA associate, and I feel like if we had a cart or something where we could have Callaway products on hand to fit, it would really kind of streamline the process and make it easier. So yeah, just really interested in that.
Yes, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email, because we can definitely work on that for sure. Because we have lots of training materials, and all of those things, and would love, and our fitting team would love to work with you and your students and get that set up. So just shoot me an email.
Great, thank
I'll
you.
put it in the chat.
Great. Thanks, John. Okay, Tiffany, coming back to you. We had some questions come through, had some recent news about acquiring Big Shots as part of the Topgolf family. So can you share any more details about how chapters that might already have a relationship with Big Shots, how this might affect that?
Yes, yeah, great questions. Of course, we are so excited for the news, just as excited as you. It is truly hot off the press. So we have not made any decisions on how we're going to bring our different programs together, to bring our different partnerships together. But what I can say is that the existing First Tee programs will not be impacted at all. We encourage you to continue to build those deep relationships with your teams at Big Shots. And as we work through what it will look like to really bring them into the fold of Topgolf and offering our technology and those types of resources, then we will come back to you with updates on what the partnership incentives would look like and how we'll be able to layer on top of the existing relationships. So that it's everything you already have and then adding on top of that as well. So more to come on that. And thank you for the question. And also thank you for paying such close attention to what we've got going on.
We won't hold it against you that you were at their facility before they joined the right team. We won't hold that against you.
Well, maybe it was their only option if they were desperate,
It was just a joke. It was just a joke.
All right. Well, great. That's really helpful. Thanks so much, Tiffany. We did have another question come through coming back to, so I'm going to stick with you on the Topgolf locations. Can you restate the discount amounts for fundraisers and events one more time for the group? And just as a reminder for everyone, these slides and the presentation are being recorded and can be accessed on the internet after today. But just one more time, Tiffany, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, yes. This information is also available on the intranet as well. So it is our fundraising sponsorship is 50% off of the golf and 100% of the private room space covered. And then for non-fundraising events, as a partner, you receive 20% off of the golf and 20% off of the room rental rate. So the fundraising sponsorship is available during specific times, and the partnership incentive is available all of the time.
Great, thank you for that. I did want to mention, we've seen a few questions come through specific to location openings that are coming up. So we'll address those on an individual basis. So if you have a location coming up soon, Lexi and Nick and the team will be in touch with the chapter about those opportunities as they become available. So we definitely want to make sure you're aware when those are coming up.
I'll just add to that, Amanda, that When our venues open, we ask that they do not run any additional programming or partnership programming for the first 90 days that they're open. We would encourage you, of course, and Lexi will share all contact information, to build a relationship, connect with your local director of operations, which is essentially our version of a CEO of that venue, and really get to know one another, as you are already all excellent at building those local relationships, and really create that local partnership. And then, but just so you're aware, we ask our directors of operations to not run any programming until 90 days after open, and that's really just to make sure that we can respond to the high demand on the venue when it first opens, as well as making sure that we have all of our operational efficiencies down, and we can really host you in a meaningful way that we would all be really proud of.
That sounds great. Thanks, Tiffany. I'm going to put out one last call for questions. We're going to wrap up here in a few minutes. So if you have any more burning questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We did get one more question about the proximity to a Topgolf facility. If a chapter is close to one, but not necessarily right in their service area, are they able to make a connection with that location? What would be your recommendation there?
Okay, Nick and Lexi, you have to make sure that I'm not crossing any rules or boundaries, but from a Topgolf perspective, we do not have, if you're bringing the participants or members to Topgolf, we don't have boundaries as it relates to service. And we have boundaries as it relates to donating outside of our venue, but as far as bringing the students to us, we don't have any boundaries. So if you're willing to make the 30-minute drive, then we are beyond elated to host you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Tiffany. And I would just say I'd welcome any of the DCRs that are on the line to jump in here as well. But if it is an overlap of another service area, your neighbors with another chapter, we would just encourage you to coordinate amongst yourselves when you reach out to those local venues.
I have a question.
Yeah, please jump in. Is that Orlando?
Yes.
Hi, Orlando.
Hi. We in our area, Rhode Island, we have it's a new Topgolf open in Cranston, and basically, how do we, once we introduce ourselves to the general manager, is there a list of kids or different locations that how do you identify us to make sure that, because I mean, if I was somebody just walked in off the street and said, hey, we're with Topgolf Newport, how would you guys know that they're being legit?
Yes,
I guess
yep.
that's what I'm trying to.
So great question. We validate typically by email address. So if you have a First Tee email address, then that's going to be the first way that our team is going to validate. And secondly, if you are reaching out to a local Topgolf venue, they are within moments going to forward that on to me to validate and make sure that it's the a person is who they say they are, and they're associated with someone, or they are associated with. So if a coach reaches out and they don't have a First Tee email address, for example, then what we would need to do is just to validate through Lexi and Nick that whomever that coach is really does have the authority to be representing First Tee.
Okay. And this question is for Mackenzie. I work with high school and middle school kids on career development within the PGA and club fitting and any other aspect of golf, whether it's hospitality, whether it's agronomy or irrigation, whatever it may be. But I do work with those kids, and so I guess I just email you to figure out what services you guys may provide.
Yes, email me, and we can talk about what you're really looking for and what we can do in your area.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's it for me. For now, anyway.
Thanks
I think
so much. I think we've gotten through most of the questions that have come in. And as I said, we'll reach out to those individual chapters that might have more specific questions related to their locations. I'll also note there were a couple mentions of maybe best practices or registrations that I think are great conversations amongst the chapters that are in the Topgolf markets. So I'll just go back to one of the comments that Lexi shared at the top of the call, which is the intranet is open. Use the chat there to your benefit. Reach out to other chapters that may have utilized these facilities and learn how they are doing that in their market.
I will say from my background, so I have run a First Tee fundraiser at a Topgolf venue before, at a chapter. I've done programming at a First Tee chapter. I've done summer events with after school kids. Did a team program at Topgolf. And that was prior to working for them. And so I would say to you all, think outside the box, right? So we're used to being at a green grass facility with our typical atmosphere. This is a whole new vibe. It's a whole new atmosphere, and Topgolf is very turnkey, and they do amazing things at these venues. So I encourage you all to be creative. And we, as First Tee, we're always looking at ways to innovate. And this is truly one of those ways to bring in the diversity. Topgolf is really the off-course market right now by numbers, and they are driving the diversity in the game. So this partnership is really huge for First Tee to continue to reach their mission of reaching a diverse market and reaching those new golfers. We always have issues convincing people to get started. It's not hard to get people to come to Topgolf and then transition to green grass. It happens all the time. When I coached at Topgolf, after being there, their first question was, where do you teach at the green grass? I want to go hit balls on the green grass. So it is a very good transitioning tool, but think outside of the box. How can this be a value add truly to my programming? Because it really can be. And like I said, Topgolf they've had Ferris wheels, they have concerts. So trust me, no idea is too small. So please think big, think outside the box. Think what would my students, what would get my students excited about the game again? Because it's truly, they do amazing things every time I go in there.
Well, thank you for that, Mackenzie. And I think obviously, of course, having your depth of knowledge and having experience in almost every part of the First Tee program is such a benefit to us when we're looking to be as impactful as we possibly can. And I think sometimes, and what we've heard is that, we're going and asking for all of these things. And I just want to share with you that it is vital to our business, the profit of our business, to have a partnership or to have the existence of a First Tee. What you do for golf as a business is imperative to the ecosystem. So while it may seem one-sided sometimes where we're giving and giving and giving, you are giving back to us. You're giving us the opportunity to not only instill purpose in the 27,000 employees, which we call playmakers, every day, so that they know that they're doing something bigger than coming and washing dishes or coming and serving a burger and a beer. It really is so much bigger. It's so much more important and more impactful than that. And it is important to our business to have your organization exist because you are bringing golfers to the game of golf and the sport of golf and the business of golf, just the way that Topgolf is and just the way that Callaway serves those individuals. So we are all together in this ecosystem, and we are so grateful for the work that you do, because without you, our business would not be flourishing the way that it is. So thank you. And don't feel like you're coming with a handout, because we need you.
One more question. I'm sorry. Now, the times for practice at a facility, is that pretty cut and dry? Because we have to, and especially in Rhode Island, we're on one tip and Cranston's way on the other, and it's about and especially during rush hour, it's about maybe a 40-minute hike. So could we actually, if we got there at 4, can that time be extended? I mean,
Orlando, that's a great question. For 2 groups and 2 groups only, first tee and Special Olympics, we internally extended the hours of access to Monday through Thursday, open until close. So only your group and 1 other have access to the same programming. Yes, and for the reason that you exactly described is why we expanded the hours after getting some really great feedback from some of the other programs. So there are times of the day and of the week that we anticipate high volume or not having available bays. That's why each team will work with you to make sure that it's a great fit for the program, but also for the venue. We have extended those times that make the program available specifically for first tee.
And I
okay,
will
thank
say,
you.
and I'll say, I know it may seem restrictive at times, but it's to make sure the experience for you and your group is like top notch. And not that they can't do that with a full venue, but when it's just y'all there, it's a whole nother experience. I promise you. Like, I've been there at the times that they designate, and you have the whole facility. Everybody's there, like helping, cheering, all of that. And that's the experience that you want. And that's why they kind of pick the times that they do, because they really want to make sure you have the best experience you're going to have and can possibly have there. So think of it that way, because it really is top notch when you're there and you have the most of the venue for your programming versus a packed Friday night.
Right. Well, we want to use it as a trigger experience to actually get more girls into the game.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them see it and they see us leave. But I mean, we have a few here and there, but that was one of my goals for 23 to increase our female population into the game of golf.
Well, the female
So-
leader of the Rhode Island venue will be happy to hear that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, again, as we, look to wrap things up here right at 3:45, just wanted to go ahead and again, thank everyone for being here today to learn more about this partnership. We're so excited about it. And as you can tell now, after hearing Tiffany and Mackenzie, they are excited about it. They are passionate about it. And they are really, here to support you and your chapters as you explore and develop relationships with Topgolf and Callaway. So please reach out to Lexi or myself, to our team, if we can help in facilitating introductions or whatever that we can do. Again, Topgolf Callaway has been a great partner of ours. We're excited to see that relationship continue to grow. Yeah, happy to put this together, and let us know if you have any questions or need anything else.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.